Motrats University.
Powered by Lost Star Productions.
Live, love, create.
Pro Tools is a digital audio workstation, DAW, used in recording studios and professional music production environments. The process of setting up Pro Tools involves configuring your computer and hardware devices to work with the software, installing and activating the software, and setting up your preferences. Here are the steps to set up Pro Tools. Check system requirements. The first step in setting up Pro Tools is to check your computer's specifications and make sure it meets the minimum system requirements. You can find this information on the Avid website. Pro Tools requires a powerful computer with a fast processor, sufficient RAM, and enough hard drive space to store your audio files. Install the software. Once you've confirmed that your computer meets the minimum requirements, you can install the Pro Tools software. You can download the software from the Avid website or install it from a physical disk. Follow the on-screen instructions to install the software. Activate Pro Tools. After installing the software, you need to activate it using your Avid account. If you don't have an account, you can create one for free. Once you've logged into your account, enter the activation code that came with your software, or purchase an activation code from the Avid website. Configure your audio interface. To use Pro Tools, you need an audio interface to connect your microphones, instruments, and speakers to your computer. Connect your audio interface to your computer using the appropriate cables, and install any necessary drivers. Set up your preferences. Pro Tools has many preferences that you can customize to suit your workflow. You can set up your preferences by selecting Preferences from the Setup menu. Here are some of the preferences you might want to configure. Playback engine. This preference determines how Pro Tools uses your computer's processing power. Choose a playback engine that matches your computer's specifications and the size of your sessions. I/O setup. This preference lets you configure your input and output routing. Choose your audio interface from the list of available devices and configure your inputs and outputs as needed. Session setup. This preference lets you configure the sample rate, bit depth, and other settings for your session. Choose the appropriate settings based on the requirements of your project. Create a new session. Once you've set up your preferences, you can create a new session by selecting New Session from the File menu. Choose the appropriate settings for your session, such as the sample rate, bit depth, and session length. Record and mix your audio. With your session set up and your preferences configured, you're ready to start recording and mixing your audio. Pro Tools has a wide range of tools and features that you can use to create professional quality recordings and mixes. Experiment with different settings and techniques to find the best approach for your project. In summary, setting up Pro Tools involves checking your computer's specifications, installing and activating the software, configuring your audio interface and preferences, creating a new session, and recording and mixing your audio. With the right hardware and a little bit of practice, you can create professional quality recordings and mixes with Pro Tools.
Motrats University.
Powered by Lost Star Productions.
Live, love, create.